want you to use your imagination for a minute. You've run a successful business, you've gone to all the networking meetings, you've got all the connections on LinkedIn, you know where the people are that are going to buy from you. You wake up one morning fresh and ready to hit those prospects. Let's speak to people, let's drum up some business. You go to LinkedIn, you go to log in, and your account's gone. What's happened? It's your worst nightmare. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Let's go. Let's crack on. That scenario, what was that? Well, you've run your business for a while. You know that these people are solid. The people already buying from you, brilliant. And down the pub or in your local networking group, you might be proudly saying to people, do you know what? I've got this many thousand followers on LinkedIn. I've got this many subscribers on YouTube. I've got all these people on X or Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Yeah, my pipeline's full. I'm not worried about them. You know, if I lost all my clients, I just dip into this like vast sea of people who I have the contact details for. The problem with this is that you probably don't have the contact details for those people. Let's stick with one example. Let's stick with LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, how many followers you got? Impressive, nice. How long did that take you to build up? How many networking meetings did you go to and scribble down people's names on business cards and then go home and connect? How many people have you just sent, rough prospecting connections to? How many people have you researched in sales now? How much money, how much time have you spent building up all those contacts on LinkedIn? Well, what happens if LinkedIn shuts down your account? They're gone. Because you know what? It can happen. LinkedIn terms of services change. You might not be doing anything wrong at all, and you might still lose access to your LinkedIn account or your Twitter account or your Instagram account or anything. Wherever you are gathering these people together, wherever you go to dip into to get contacts for people to sell to, you can absolutely lose that. So what can you do about it? Get them out. Get people out and onto your email marketing list. That's what the nub of this video is really about, your email marketing list. Over the last few years, a lot of businesses have forgotten just how important and how useful and how valuable a good email marketing list can be. They're quite content just to have all their contacts sat on LinkedIn or wherever. But once the people are on your mailing list, they're yours. You can do so many cool things with them. Let's just do a little mailing list 101 in a moment. But first of all, in LinkedIn, today, if you remember nothing else from this video other than this one thing, I want you to go to LinkedIn and I want you to do an export of all your contacts. Doesn't even matter what you do with them for now. Just get them out. Get them onto a spreadsheet. Get them onto your computer. That's the best thing you can possibly do. Right, let's do the mailing list 101. This is the Business Amplifier. Really simple, easy peasy guide to mailing lists. When you've got people on your mailing list, segment them. Don't have one big amorphous blob of people. Find out things about the people and put them into groups. It could be by business type. It could be by how often people open your emails. In tools like Aweber and Mailchimp, this is incredibly easy. In HubSpot, it's incredibly easy. But just giving everyone the same message all the time means that you're not going to be getting the true value out of your mailing list. Another nice little hint for your mailing list, as a part of our Business Amplify podcast, Mailing List 101, resend to non-opens. What do I mean by that? Well, you write your beautifully crafted email and you send it out to everyone. You sit back and you make yourself a cup of tea and you think about how great you are at running your mailing list. But what happens? When you look at the stats for your mail out, you'll see that, hey, 75% of people didn't open the email. How dare they? Don't they know how brilliant my emails are? Now, there's good reasons why that 75% might not have opened the email. They might just have an absolute fire hose of emails coming into their life all the time and they missed it. They might be on holiday. They might be asleep. They might be having dinner. There's lots of reasons why people might not immediately see your mail out. So do you know what? Send it to them again. In Mailchimp, Aweber, HubSpot, whatever, it's very easy to create an on-the-fly segment to resend an email to people who haven't opened the first version that you sent out. My trick is to slightly change it. It might be that the subject line didn't catch their attention the first time. So send it with a different subject line. It's also important to send it with a slightly different subject line, because if people are using Gmail or any other email program that stacks up emails, then they're going to see that you've sent it to them twice. And that's not the worst thing in the world, but might ruffle a few feathers. So if you change the subject line, it stays separate. So resend to non-opens. That's really important. Next tip, survey your people. You've got them onto your list. You've got them on by whatever means, but how much do you really know about them? Now, if you're sending out good content and people are opening your emails, then send them a survey. Just ask them a question. It can be almost anything. You now have this group of people, instead of them living on LinkedIn or whatever other platform, they're now kind of a massive resource to you. Learn things about them. Ask what it is that informs their buying. This is such a powerful thing to be able to do. You only got to ask them 1 or 2 questions. And if you want to supercharge it and get the best response, only send your surveys to the people that you know are actually opening and reading your emails. Look at your stats, look at your stats, look at your stats. Another way to keep people on your mailing list, keep them retained, is to give them exclusives. Make them feel loved. It's okay to say, look, I'm only going to send this information to you. People outside of this mailing list ain't going to get it. Make your mailing list recipients feel loved. Customize, segment, tell them things that they want to hear. Tell them useful things. Always be adding value. So, how do we get people onto the mailing list? Sure, you've got them on LinkedIn and that's fine, but I keep going over and over this point because it's very, very important. Oh, sign language, that means again. It's very, very important. Well, if they're on LinkedIn, ask them if they'd like to be added to your mailing list. Just ask. You can just send them a message, put a post up. Keep it simple. Obviously, if you've got a lot of connections on LinkedIn, this is going to be potentially quite a lot of work, but it's worth it because the value of somebody on your mailing list is this much, and the value of them on your LinkedIn is this much. Remember, you don't have their ear if they're only on LinkedIn. If they're on your mailing list, there's a good chance that they're going to read your content. They're going to hear you. So, another way of getting people onto your mailing list is to use lead magnets. Make a brilliant thing. Say, hey, do you know what? We've got this exclusive report, and you can get it by signing up to the mailing list. Just make it easy. Be open, be honest, be transparent. Depending on your industry, you can also build your mailing list using competitions. Give something away. It's amazing what people will give up their email address for if you run a competition. I'll give you a scenario. We've run competitions for a business that's local to us here, and we have got their mailing list from about 1,000 when we first started working with them to, well, it's over 25,000 now. And we developed that almost exclusively with competitions. At first we gave away really big things. We gave away holidays. Win a holiday. And then we realized that some people don't believe it. Some people see a prize that big and they think, God, that must be a scam thing, just crazes me. But it's the way the world is. It's the way it is. So we start giving away incrementally smaller prizes each time. The last competition we gave away was a 3D printed model. That was it. And I think we added about 3,500 people to the mailing list. But we run these competitions 3 or 4 times a year. An extra bonus platinum lining to the mailing list competition cloud for you here is give away something that your audience will want, something specific to that niche. If you are, I don't know, a plum seller, make your prize one of them weird things for getting the stones out of plums. If you make your prize too broad, there's a danger that your competition will end up on competition websites. These websites where like thousands of people just go enter competition, enter competition, enter competition, enter competition, enter competition, enter competition. Those people are never going to buy from you. If I said that the people are that much value on your mailing list and LinkedIn's that much value, people who enter your competitions and end up on your mailing list through a competition website are like that tiny. Well, it's nothing. I'm just going to say nothing. Nothing. That's sign language for nothing. So there you go. There's the bonus tip. There's how you get them on. But just remember, do not leave people on your platforms. Get them off. Get them off. Get them off. If you're on YouTube, for example, you might think, hey, this is great. I got 1,000 subscribers. They're not yours. They're YouTube's. They're not your possession. They're not your property. Find a way to get people off the platforms. With YouTube, it can be as simple as saying, you know, at the end of the video, please sign up for our mailing list. And you know what? We are nearly at the end of the video here, and I'd like you to go to yeseo.io/subscribe. I'd like you to do it now, because it's the end of the video and I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to twiddle around on my chair while these boxes and other bits of information come up. Thank you for watching. Get people off the platform. Right, okay. I'll be calm now. Like, subscribe, click these things. That's about as entertaining as this part of the video is going to be. About as entertaining until I say bye-bye, thank you, tell your mum.